Have you ever wondered why you are stuck? Why your energy is not flowing? Well, today we're going to do a little exercise on myself to help you understand how to get that energy flowing. And we're going to use the old concept of IKIGAI, which is the Japanese method for finding that purpose. Finding the thing that gets you online, gets you on purpose, aligning with your identity. So today's video, I'm going to sort of overlay a few things as I'm talking as we go through Ikigai, which is these 4 circles here. And we'll go through the bits and pieces to do with Ikigai. So why am I making this video? To help you get certainty, help you align, help you connect with your values, which is the coaching speak for aligning with what is important to you. What are we talking about? Well, we'll be using the Ikigai method from Japan, the Japanese ancient method for aligning with yourself. And how are we going to do it? Well, I'm just going to go through the circles with you, and I'm going to simply bring up 3 items for myself with a context, which I'll give you in just a second. 3 items in each circle, and then I'll explain the circles as we go. And what if you did? What if you actually found some things in your life you could be aligned with so that your energy flows, you're not resisting, you're not procrastinating. It's going to tap into your values. In coaching, we do a thing called a values elicitation session where we go through your values, what's important to you. And it's very clear when you do one of those and you've got your list, you're really clear on how and why your energy goes up and how and why your energy goes down. Because when you get your top 5 values met, your energy shoots up through the roof. Self-motivated, shall we say. So this is another method of extracting these values out of you, but using the old Japanese method. So what we'll do is then you could do a values elicitation on the answers that come out. Okay, so that's enough talk. Let's jump into the exercise. So the very first part of this, if we look at it, is what do you love? Right? What do you love to do? What are you passionate about? What are you excited about? And it's all about knowing some of these answers. I've got some things I love, so I'll put those in just a second. But let's go around the circle first and let's fill in the blanks. The second is, what does the world need? Now, this could be your world, it could be the world, it could be your neighborhood, it could be your family, right? So you can put that in whatever context makes sense to you. Now, what's the next one? I've got my little cheat sheet down here. What can you be paid for, right? So what does the world need? But then you move on to what you can be paid for. So you're thinking about something where you need to pay the bills. Well, then that's where this circle comes in. Now, the last of the circles is, what are you good at, right? What are you good at? What are your skills currently? And of course, you could move into the future, like what could you learn, right? You could extrapolate this. What are you good at now will allow more energy to flow now because you can overlap all of this. Now, there's a few overlaps that go on because the goal is to get to this magical place in the middle here, which is the Ikigai, right? That's the Ikigai in the middle. This is the magical place where it all comes together. So let's look at these overlaps. The first one is what you could be paid for and what are you good at. That is what you would call a profession. Profession, trade, something that you can be paid for and that you are good at. That's getting into more of the commercial world. The next one is paid for and the world needs. That's more what you would call, look at my cheat sheet, is a vocation. Right? So profession is probably at a higher level. Vocation, world needs it. You can be paid for it. It could be any job vocation. Now we get into the other side. We've got love and world needs. And this one is, you might call this your mission. And I've seen a few different versions of IKIGAI over the years. I've never actually done it, which is why I'm doing this video, to test this out on myself and then show some value to you guys at home. The next one is love and good at. Well, that's pretty obvious because that's going to be your passion, right? So this is your passion. What is your passion? If you love it and you're good at it, you might be an artist, you might be in sports, you might be someone who loves public speaking, or I don't know, whatever your jam is. This is the philosophy of IKIGAI. So those are the basic elements. And so I'm just going to go around this very briefly, and I'll take you through, and I'll as I'm doing the video, when I edit this, I'll see the energy coming out of me, and I'll be able to put some notes on the board because I haven't done this before. So I'm doing it for the video for the very first time. So what do I love? Well, I love coaching. I love everything to do with coaching. Coaching myself, I love coaching clients, mindset, using your brain to get yourself moving, using your brain to remove old emotions, to set a vision for the future, to. I love that. I also love public speaking. In Toastmasters a few years ago, I do the YouTube videos. I spoke in front of classes in an institute for 8-9 years. I enjoy it. And the reason why I love public speaking is actually because it's like enforced personal development. You get to see yourself on the screen and you can deliver value to someone else as well. So there's contribution, there's all sorts of things that I love. So I love public speaking, I love coaching and anything to do with it. And it's got to be said, I have this passion for, I'm going to call it it might be part of coaching, but it's the unconscious mind. I'm going to say that. Just anything to do with, which is connected to identity. Maybe identity is the word, but the unconscious mind, it's about being more effective. It's about connecting with yourself. It's about understanding yourself. It's about getting results and them coming out automatically, unconsciously when you make the shift, right? So I enjoy that side of it. So these are what the things I love. Now, we talk about what the world needs, right? This is where I'm going to connect with mission. What does the world need right now? Now, I can only go with my own perception. What the world needs right now, based on, I guess we're going to talk about pain points. I mean, if you're talking about, let's see, I'm going to say the world the world is currently under stress. I think a lot of people, including myself, we all get addicted to our phones, right? So I think that there is a lack of focus, right? From that, also that there's things holding us back, right? So I'm going to say holding back. Because there's so many gifts inside of people and they're just not releasing them, myself included, right? This is why I do these YouTube videos, this YouTube channel, because I want to move forward. There's more in me that's not coming out and other things are holding me back, me included. It all comes from me, right? So I want everybody to progress, to grow, to help other people. So there's what the world needs as a snapshot in my head, right? This is coming from my head right now. Everyone's stressed, no one's focused, and everyone's holding back, right? This is my perception of the world. Then we move on to what you can be paid for. Well, that's an interesting one. Now, all I have is my perception here, but there's people who want to get organized. There are people who want to remove their own mental blocks. Let's say everything from executive coaching all the way down to school kids and everything in between. So it's, I'm going to say get organized, remove blocks, I'm going to say. And that would be context by context and market by market and people by, group by group. So you got remove blocks. What else have we got on here? So we've got organize, remove blocks. What can you be paid for? And some of this is about any research you might have done in this space. And I think about helping people to, I'm gonna say got the word goals, something to do with goals. It's a goals. It could be connected to vision, because a lot of people are lost and they will pay money to help them get themselves structured and moving forward. And then we go, what are you good at? And well, because I clearly have this passion over here with the unconscious, I'm good at things like neuro-linguistic programming, which is what's a lot of the stuff on my channel. I love all of those techniques. I'm good at hypnosis, doing timeline and doing different types of hypnotic work to help people change their internal world. I love that. I'm good at it. Good at a lot of NLP techniques. There's still many which I would like to improve on, but there's a lot that I can do from the top of my head. I'm becoming very good at a thing called the self-concept model. The self-concept model is one that was made by Steve Andreas, and I love that model. I've still got a lot I can learn from it, but there are parts of it which I've been able to do actually with security guard on the street. I was able to do some self-concept model work with him on the fly, off the top of my head, just really talking and having a conversation, and he felt the shift. So it works, right? So these are things I am good at. These are things that I am loving. These are things that the world needs, and these are things that you could be paid for, which is, there's a bit of investigation that what you could be paid for part. So you've got your profession, you've got your passion, you've got your mission, and you've got your vocation. So if I looked at, let's just work our way around these parts and let's just zero in a little bit. What the world needs, all right? So it needs less stress, more focus, and it's holding back. Vocation-wise, what could you be paid for? Being organized, removing blocks, and goals and vision. Well, holding back, goals and vision, focus, removing blocks, stress, organized. I think those two quite well work together. So what words will I put in here? So let's think about, you're going to be organized, stress, focus. Let's use the word for the word vocation. Let's use the word I've got the word block coming up, like the removing blocks for people. Self-sabotage, there you go. So self-sabotage. Now you notice that's a very away from. It's like I want to get away from self-sabotage. Or what would somebody want to move towards? So you can see I'm looking away from the screen here as I'm going inside myself right now. And because I've been spending a lot of time over the last 5, 6, 7 years connecting with myself, because I didn't connect with myself, right? Maybe I should be putting that on here. So self-sabotage, and I'm going to say reconnecting. I don't know if that's a vocation. With yourself. And that's about possibly creating a goal you're congruent with, something that you're actually going to chase down, something that you're going to be more passionate about yourself. Might be more on this side. But anyway, these are words. I'm going to leave them there for the moment. It's a bit messy, but that's what coaching can be sometimes. We have to just do a bit messy first and extract the language. When I look at this video again in the future, when I'm editing, I'm sure I'm going to see some patterns in my own language because I'm currently in the stuff right now. So I can't coach myself while I'm talking. So then we come across to profession, what you're good at, what you can be paid for. Well, I love my self-concept, love my hypnosis, love my NLP. I could be paid for being organized, remove blocks, and goals and vision. And if I think about that, it could be, I've just got the word career. Right, you might be holding yourself back and you keeping yourself in a little narrow corner of the world. You can expand that out and then focus somewhere else if that's exciting to you, right? So I'm going to say clarity, right? You could be a career clarity person type coach. So helping people get clear, helping people with their career, helping people where I'm going to overcome those self-sabotage. But what do you want instead? What's the positive side of that? And that is progress. So something to do with progress, right? So it's about accountability, moving forward, that kind of thing. So I'm going to stop there and only write 3 in each one, just so I don't overly confuse myself. And then we come across to passion. So you've got your coaching, public speaking, unconscious. You've got your self-concept, hypnosis, NLP. Well, I'm passionate, and one day my goal, part of this channel actually, is to help me get closer to teaching NLP. And I could do that now. I am qualified to do it. I'm part of the NLPAA, and I'm which is the Australian body, and I'm already registered in the coaching space for training. I felt I needed more runs on the board with some more experiences to bring into a training. But I could probably teach more than half of an NLP practitioner based on the experiences I have already. So it's like, okay, well, I'm going to just say I'm passionate about teaching. I'm passionate about coaching, right? And so you're thinking about, all right, what are you going to teach? What are you going to coach? Teaching and coaching the NLP techniques, transformation. So identity is a big one. So I'm going to put identity. And just so for anyone who doesn't know, part of the reason why identity jumps out for me and why I put that on my website, matthewtate.com, go check it out, is because of my origin story being that I am adopted, right? So was given away at birth, right? So that identity piece, I didn't realize how important it was until I was 45 years old. I'm now 50. So it's a big piece. So it's identity. From a scientific point of view, I love identity because when you change your identity, you change who you think you are. When you do that and you have a shift internally, you watch your entire world starts to change underneath you. It's amazing. Your environments, your behaviors, your skills, things that you allow yourself to do. So very powerful. And then we come across back to mission. Let's see if I can put some words over here. So coaching, public speaking, unconscious. And then we got stress, focus, and holding back. The mission, that's a good one. That one's hitting home a bit more than it was before. The mission is to help people get out of their own way. I'll put that down. Get out of your own way. Now, it's a bit general, but we'll run with that for the moment. Get out of your own way. And the mission is to grow people, expand people, is to help people shift their identity, is to help people see themselves differently. Ooh, I like that. See self differently. The red pen's starting to get a little bit light on. So now let's put some words in the middle. I'll bring my black pen for this one. This is the IKIGAI, using the Japanese in the middle there. Now the words are a little bit generic, but I'm kind of liking where it's going, right? So you got the IKIGAI in the middle, and what do you reckon this is going to go? So what jumps out as I'm looking at this, my unconscious mind is now being put on the board. Let's have a look at it. What do we got? We got identity, we got teaching, coaching, NLP, and the mindset skills that help people shift the identity. I'm going to circle identity. And then we've got get out of your own way. I love this one here. See self differently. Well, that's connected to identity, right? And then we've got self-sabotage, reconnecting with self. That's the the positive and the negative, right? So that's the negative and that's the positive of that. I'll just circle those two. And then we've got progress, clarity, and career. And I think the word progress, because that's connected to one of my higher values of growth. And so we got, let's just write some IKIGAI words over here. This is the IKIGAI from here. And so we've got progress, we've got identity, we've got see self differently, which is kind of identity, but I'm going to say shifting identity. I'll say shifting self. That's what mine's coming up with. And they've got the positive and negative, you're connecting with yourself and self-sabotage. So self-sabotage. I'm going to say the word resistance. Right? Because that's a thing that a lot of people have got problems with is resistance. So I'm going to just circle that, and this is a beginning point for my IKIGAI. Okay, so looking at my little unconscious dump here, progress, identity, shifting self, self-sabotage, and resistance. And then out of that, what's a group of people that would most benefit from that? That's cool. Shifting your identity. I've got the coaching world. I've got small business, as in business owners. I'm a small business owner as well. I've got I'm gonna move my eyes around to access more parts of my brain. If you've seen my eye shifting patterns, and I'm just going to move around my eyes because that'll access more parts of me. And as I'm going around, I'm thinking, IKIGAI, who can I serve better? I think it's up and coming small business owners, up and coming people from the employee space to the entrepreneur space, you might call it. And it's helping them to shift who they think they are, because I know I've got the skills to do that. And get them taking micro actions, getting mentors from that space that they specifically want to work in if there's a micro niche they're working with. And I think from that research, I know that other micro niches will emerge for myself. So there you go. That's me accessing my IKIGAI. I think valuable. I mean, these were all these words here. And I think the word resistance, I could probably cut out the word. I've got word resistance, which is just out of camera slightly. Whoops, go the other way, go down a little bit, down a little bit, down a little bit. There we go. You can see that there, the word resistance. So finishing off my little IKIGAI session, things that are coming forward for me that's helped me get clear. And whilst I knew all of this, it's helpful to see it written down on a piece of paper. Your unconscious mind has just been dumped onto a piece of paper. And because I'm also a coach, I'm seeing the values that are important to me. I'm seeing that, helping people with using these tools in these spaces to reduce their stress, get focused, and stop holding back, right? To help them get organized, remove blocks, and set some kind of a goal and a vision and start to step forward. But in particular, what's jumping out at me now is the word for IKIGAI is the word identity. That was the words. These words here were my circled words. And the identity piece is a huge one. So it's helping people to overcome their blocks and set a vision connecting to their identity, to connecting to who they think they are. And one of my goals as a mindset coach is I want to help people to retrieve the lost data, because there's some amazing things people do in their lives and they are disregarding it, right? They are deleting, they are distorting, and they are generalizing good things out of their life. And when they recapture those good things, they realize and start to change who they think they are based on simple retrieval, simple stories, the stories they tell themselves. So this is the essence of helping people to step themselves forward in any endeavor, all right? So if you're trying to achieve something and you're blocking yourself, firstly, we've got to set a vision as to what you want instead. And secondly, we also have to remove the resistance, or that's not the right word, welcome the resistance to be along for the journey so that we don't resist, because we'll know what the resistance wants. Integrate yourself and take action, right? That's the measurement, is the taking action. If you're not taking action, then you're not going to move forward. Now, who could I specifically help? Well, people who are trying to lift themselves in their career and they're blocked. People who don't have any vision in that career. People who maybe need to open and expand their thinking to meet new people in that career field. And in particular, if you're trying to start a business, which a lot of people are out there in the world, trying to start business because the internet gives that opportunity that was never there 20 plus years ago, you can shift who you think you are. The mindset work is the starting point. There's still a lot of structure you have to put in behind the next steps. But if you are not the sort of person who appreciates business, or who appreciates the value you can give other people through business, if you just say to yourself, oh, I'm not a business person, we need to go into those characteristics and shift towards what you want instead. Doesn't mean we have to change you, but we do need to connect you with your goal or shift the goal towards you, right? So it's about aligning yourself. Anyway, this is helping me. I'm looking at this. I can see that it's about progress. It's about removing the blocks and using our identity to do the work for you. And that's where the coaching comes in. So this has been helpful for me. I had a few little shifts along the way where I'm starting to believe that I should be helping people with their careers. I'm starting to believe that I should be helping small business owners or people who are shifting their identity as they're going through that identity trauma in the transition, right? And they're moving themselves through it. I'm starting to see that that's a big space I could help in. And it's about now me going off and doing some work to research that, to see, is that what the Google trends are and all those sorts of things. There are tools I can use for that I'm aware of. But now I've got some clarity. So I'm going to go into those spaces and keep looking as I look for a thread that overlaps with all of this. So I love this session. It's my first ever IKIGAI where I've actually done the exercise. So there you go. I hope this has helped you guys at home. If you're unclear, if you're looking for that purpose piece, or you're looking for the direction, or you're looking to just break up your thinking, dump your unconscious mind onto the board, and you can start to have all the things you want in life by getting clear on where to do the work. My next step, my micro step, which I like to have an action, is to go into Google Trends, ask the public, and maybe Amazon books with these titles, with identity, with shifting identity, and moving yourself forward to stop yourself being stuck. And inside all of that, there might be a micro niche on the who. But for the moment, that's where I'm heading. And of course, my goal one day is to be teaching NLP, and that probably connects with the same people who are looking for that shift. So the clearer I get on who that person is, they call it in coaching the avatar, the clearer it'll all be. So I'm just giving you my perspective on how this has helped me take the next step, take the next action, get myself into momentum. That's what I like about these tools, and I hope this has helped you today. All right, this is Matt Tate. This is Matt Tate from MatthewTate.com. And this is Fork in Road YouTube channel, your channel for transformation. And I'll see you in the next video. As always, like and subscribe to the channel, as I would love to hear your comments down below as to if you've done this activity. Has this helped you to move yourself forward? See you in the next video.